Hey guys, hopefully you can hear me today. I am in a coffee shop, but I want to show you exactly how you can use Clay.com custom signals as well as Attio to build a really great automated evergreen go-to-market system. This is a project that I completed back in April 2025, and I want to walk you through the logic of building it. So on your screen, you're going to see four Clay tables all connected together in some sort of way. The first one that I'm going to walk you through is the funding round RSS feed table, the workbook here. The second one that I'm going to walk you through is a find people column that runs every week on a schedule. The third one that I'm going to walk you through is the custom Attio mapping table that goes through pulling everything that we've sequenced and pushing it into Attio for safekeeping and also logging. And then the fourth table is going to be every single time somebody responds, how do we actually push that information into Attio? Keep in mind that I'm primarily a HubSpot user and I usually work within HubSpot, but for this project we used Attio because it's a next-gen CRM and we wanted to be able to test it. So let's go forward on this. Series A, Series B, Series C funding. Let's say you are targeting, let's say you are a cybersecurity firm, or let's say you're a fintech firm and you want to be targeting Series A, Series B companies, Series C companies that have just received funding. This is the logic on your screen that you're going to follow. You're going to use a custom RSS feed that is connected to a Google alert. So this project was completed in April and May 2025 before custom signals came into the Clay ecosystem. So that being said, that's how I had set it up before. I'm going to click into Series A just so that you can see what it looks like. And you're going to see that we have a custom funding status blocker. So every single table that you build in Clay, you want to also have a filter on it to parse the information to a different table. All of this logic follows Series A, Series B, Series C, but what you might not have considered when you're doing an RSS feed, every single time something comes up in Google, let's just say this one, for instance, the RSS feed might pick up that RTA raises Series A funding from Saucigana Growth Equity, something like that, right? Series A funding equity, right? So Series A, Series B cannot just happen in tech startups. It can also happen in baseball games. So let's say you have like Series B mini league or something like that. We need to be able to filter those out, which actually I wasn't aware of when I started to do this project. So I needed to build a filter criteria for funding status. Is it actually a tech startup? Is it actually extracting the right record? Is it actually saying that that they've received funding, so on and so forth, right? So what I wanted to do for Series A, Series B, Series C is be able to filter out any of the ones that just didn't make sense, right? Maybe it wasn't enough money that they raised, et cetera, et cetera. What I wanted to do then is pull in all of these different companies that actually met the criteria. Like it's a legit company, it's a tech company, they raised funding, it's Series A, Series B, Series C funding, whatever, millions of dollars raised, whatever. I want to be able to pull that into a central table called companies funding, and then I want to go find the people at those funding tables. After that, I want to go find the CFOs at those recently funded companies, right? So this is the very first signal that anybody can run if you guys are using, like custom events or signals in the market. When like a company comes in the market and you want to track them, RSS feed and Google Alerts is a really great way of doing that. That's what we had done here. Moving on to the second table. How do we actually want to get new CFOs? So like chief financial officers that have gotten hired, that have moved into different roles, that have gone, moved from product teams or something like this. I want to go find those people. So now we're not looking at the company level. Now we're looking at the personal level, at the role level, and I want to understand kind of how many people, what type of ICP company am I looking for? So right on the right hand side, you're going to see kind of like our ICP at our personal level ICP level. So you can get this from the company. Of course, this is like one of the first questions I ask when I do marketing for somebody. It's like, what are your ICPs? What are your personal, your contact level ICPs? And then what are your personas? And then what are your company level attributes like demographics, firmographics, stuff like this. All of this is just to create the ideal customer profile. You can see that here for this project, we're doing company sizes 51 people and up. Of course, the larger the better. Job title keywords is CFO, VP of Finance, CFO, Chief Financial Officer, Head of Finance, any variation of that. And then I also want to include very specific regions and exclude specific keywords. So I don't want to have like Chief Operating Officer and Chief Financial Officer, Treasury, accounting, commercial, stuff like this. And I also want to make sure that the job title, seniority level actually matches. So all we're doing in this table now is the second signal in the market. It's just new people in seat, right? New people have gotten hired. That's a really good way. In the first 90 days, new CFOs, new COOs, new C-suite usually come with a 30, 60, 90-day plan. Maybe they come with a 6-month plan. Either way, within the first 3 months, you want to be able to get them to, you want to get in front of them. You want them to spend their money on you so that you can help them do whatever they want to do, right? right? So that's pretty much like what we want to do here is we want to use the clay feature. It's just called imported profiles. It's find people. And once you use find people, you can put in your inputs here. You can edit the inputs, and I'm not going to go ahead and do that. And if you want to run it on a schedule, and this is what I recommend that you do, you don't just run this once. You don't ever just find like people one time. You want to get an evergreen play going. So an evergreen play is like a tree. It just keeps going, right? So I have this set up to do run on a schedule once every week. You can now change the frequency from every day, every week to every month. This is especially important for if you are running find people on a different category, or if you're using a HubSpot import, for instance. Now you can run the source on a specific schedule, which is really nice. So that is the second signal. Now we've gone through new CFOs and new companies that are matching qualified tactics. Now let's like, what do we actually do like when we want to send outbound email to them? We have to move all of these different people, and we have to move all the different companies into one specific table so that we can make sure that everything is mapped properly to the CRM. It doesn't matter the CRM that you're using. It doesn't matter if you're using HubSpot. It doesn't matter if you're using Salesforce. You need to make sure that all the information gets stored somewhere, right? And I think this is where a lot of companies kind of like forget what they're doing, is that they just kind of send everything to Instantly or send everything to SmartLead, and they kind of just don't make sure that everything matches. The need for having a master table, as you can see, like mapping right to Attio or master table here, is that every other signal, whether it's going to be new CFOs, new people in seat, new hires, no new hires, new company, company A, company B, whatever, everything needs to go through one place so that it can be recorded properly. On the right side of your screen, you can see that I did a custom API, an API pull, like I wrote to a custom API in the Attio API, and I was able to write the JSON body on the right-hand side. So you can see that everything that you need to do. I learned all of this from Joe at the Workflow company, actually. So shout out to Joe. His YouTube video is awesome. I'm probably gonna make another video on this because it was really cool to figure out. If Clay doesn't have a custom integration with Attio, which it didn't as of April, you have to write a custom body. And what you're able to do is you're able to say, what is the email address? Okay, let's match it to the work email address. Normalize full name, normalize first name, normalize last name, LinkedIn URL text, company name, job title, original source, signal. It's very, very important that you push all the information that is relevant to be stored inside of the CRM in one go. It just keeps it clean, right? On the Attio side, you don't want to run all of your Attio automations, and you don't want to run out of automation credits. So make sure that you're doing everything all in one go. For instance, this on the right-hand side is how you would map everything to Attio to push everything to be recorded initially. And at the same time, at the end of this flow, actually, while I'm writing it to Attio, I am also sequencing into Instantly using something like Octave. So Octave is making like all the one-to-one copy at scale. Shout out to Zach and his team for that. But yeah, this is exactly how I would write everything to a CRM with a non-native CRM integration. If you're using HubSpot, you're using Salesforce, that you have to pay money for that to have the API bridge, but you can also push everything in using the custom field mapping there. So that's how you would do that. So we're at the point in time where we have the custom signals. We have new CFOs in seat. We have new companies coming into market, or that are coming into the marketable ICP, the service addressable market. And now we have everything, all the contacts and companies recorded in the CRM, which is Attio at this point. What do we do from now? We wait for somebody to respond, right? We send the emails. We send 2 or 3 emails to them that are hyper-targeted, one-to-one, value add, permissionless value add, stuff like this, following Jordan Crawford steps and everything like that. But what do we actually do when somebody responds, right? Like you shouldn't be paying an SDR to sit on an Instantly mailbox. So what do? In testing, like over a ton of different campaigns, I probably tested around like 10,000 different emails back, and I have iterated on the same system over and over and over again. I think this is like V9 of this Instantly replies webhook table that I've built. All you need to do to get rid of your 4 SDRs, or not even your 4 SDRs, your 4 virtual assistants in some case for a different company I was working with, is to be able to set a webhook from Instantly and then pull it into Clay or pull it into N8N, whatever you want to do, and be able to parse that using a fine-tuned model. So you can see over here, we have the company name, we have the campaign name, everything is being pulled back in. And then from here, you can actually see my AI agent, the email response classification system. So you can see it is actually pulling out, and it's telling me exactly how much the tool costs, so on and so forth. So from that point forward, what you want to do is you want to take all of the information that's coming back on the Instantly webhook, which is the lead email, the Unibox URL, the company name, job title, reply text that comes in, the campaign, reply classification, subcategory, follow-up needed, recommended action, stuff like this. And you want to use the same JSON formatting and you want to push it to a different Attio workflow. If you're doing this in a HubSpot, then you would do the exact same thing. Instead of doing a custom body tag, you would just do a custom field push, and you would just match the custom fields to whatever you needed to put inside of HubSpot or in Salesforce. But on the custom workflow side, I think this is like really interesting for you to look at, because it actually points out how everything is mapped over. So you can see original source is hard set to Clay. That is at the request of the client, and then the reply text. If I want to push anything into like the activity field inside of HubSpot, I can push it into the activity field using a custom Zapier or something like this. But yeah, I wanted to walk you through like in 10 minutes or less on how everything works, kind of like using custom signals, like 2 custom signals in Clay, how to integrate, use Clay as an orchestration layer between your market signals and your CRM, and then tie everything together using kind of like outbound and revenue operations tactics. So I apologize about the background noise. I'm sitting in a cafe using AirPods, but hopefully you can understand me. And my name is Spencer. If you want a custom Clay Attio custom signal build or HubSpot revenue operations uplift, feel free to message me anytime. I'm on LinkedIn. Yeah, thank you for